Alright, the Darlington Throwback Weekend Review. Let's go ahead and jump into this one. Let's start off with the Xfinity race. Well, it was a leech-infested race. Pretty decent race, not that bad, actually. Initially, we had a leech winner named Denny Hamlin. Why is Hamlin still in this series, or feels he needs to be here? I don't know. But when it looked like we were going to cry about leeches being in the series, hold up, we got a penalty. Beep. Because Denny Hamlin's car failed post-race inspection, as the car was found to be too low. So as a result, Denny Hamlin was officially disqualified. And the win is now awarded to Cole Custer, a regular, giving Custer his 5th win of the season. Hamlin serves you right. That's karma for being a fucking leech. There, maybe this ought to teach the leeches to stay the fuck out of Xfinity and trucks. Nah, that probably won't happen. That would require brain cells. But yeah, so now that's our second DQ'd winner across all 3 series. We've only had 1 in trucks, and we've had 1 in Xfinity. Plus, we had Christopher Bell get his 3rd place disqualified at Chicagoland. And we had 2 instances of AJ Allmendinger being disqualified from 2nd place, but those weren't winner disqualifications. This is a disqualified winner. So yeah, Hamlin. Of course, Hamlin, after the race, he felt like he still needed to use the tech gods as his scapegoat for this. Hamlin, it's not the tech gods. It's your own team's fault for giving you the leech car. We all knew this was going to happen eventually, because the top teams give the leeches the best equipment possible, and sooner or later, they were going to get busted for it. Hamlin happened to be, and Hamlin, you're a pioneer. You're the first Cup leech to get an Xfinity or truck win disqualified. You're a true pioneer, Denny. Not all heroes wear capes. But there, maybe this ought to mean in the future we'll have no more Cup leeches in Xfinity and trucks, hopefully. But let's move on to some other news. Of course, next up, F1 race in Belgium. Of course, everyone racing with heavy hearts because Saturday night, Sunday morning, F2 driver Antoine Herbert passed away from injury sustained in an F2 crash in Belgium Saturday in the F2 race. It's very scary when you have somebody die in a race. But yeah, rest in peace to him. But of course, the F1 race, it was pretty meh. Not much happened. It was mainly dominated by Charles Leclerc all race. And then Lewis Hamilton guessed, and Mercedes were about to guess the tire strategy. And just when it looked like it was going to be another Lewis Hamilton-Mercedes win, the racing gods finally answered our prayers. Wait, what? Oh god, it's going to happen. Charles Leclerc and Ferrari's going to win a race. Oh my god. All the Ferrari fans, come quick. We can now celebrate easily. As the winner was Charles Leclerc, he finally gets his first career victory in F1. Finally. Yes. Thank you. Fuck you, Hamilton, and fuck you, Mercedes. Leclerc finally did it. He won a race. And this comes a year after Leclerc almost died at Belgium, when his car almost got crushed, but the halo bar kept him intact. At the same track, ironically. 1 year later, Leclerc wins at Belgium. And you know what? We can't have this here. We need the appropriate flag behind us. Give me a second and I'll fix it. And just like that, with the snap of my fingers, we got a Ferrari flag right behind us. The perfect flag to celebrate Charles Leclerc's first F1 victory. But yeah, time to have ourselves an F1 victory. Well, I've been waiting all goddamn year for this one. Hell yeah. Anyway, moving on. IndyCar race at Portland. It was actually a pretty decent race. Mainly dominated by Will Power. Surprisingly, a lot of the championship contenders struggled. A couple of them, especially Scott Dixon. Scott earned this race needing a solid run, and he didn't get it. But Newgarden was like top 5, top 10 all day. Rossi couldn't get the win. Pagano was almost non-existent all day. Willpower gets the win. And Willpower ties Sebastian Bourdais for 7th, I think it's 7th all-time on the IndyCar all-time wins list. So yeah, how about that? Power gets it done. Too bad Power did not get enough points. So as a result, though, Willpower is eliminated from championship contention. So, of course, the IndyCar finale is in 3 weeks at Laguna Seca. We'll go over the IndyCar points at the end of the video to give you an idea what the championship battle is going to be. 4 drivers, 1 title. Also, F1's back next week in Italy, the home race for Ferrari. And, of course, Xfinity's back also next week for Indianapolis, the Brickyard. And also Adam Darlington forgot to mention Justin Allgaier and Noah Gragson also locked in their chase spots on points. So now those 2 are officially locked in. Continuing on, the Cup race at Darlington. Probably one of the better races all season. Easily one of the best races all season. Like, Darlington always has a good race. Like, it was a really good race. A lot of different strategy. A lot of comers and goers. A lot of different leaders. It was crazy and chaotic. A lot of chase bubble drivers had problems and issues with crash damage. Hell, Ryan Newman at one point got dumped at Daniel Suarez. Honestly, Newman deserved to get dumped for fucking over Matt DiBenedetto at Bristol. Serves Newman right. I mean, you want to defend Newman for that shit? Then this should be no exception. Want to race others like an asshole? Expect the same in return, Newman. Maybe that ought to teach him. And of course, this race, it came down to a 3-car battle. But pretty much once Eric Jones got the lead, he pulled away and could never look back. Eric Jones wins the race by 4 seconds over Larson and Kyle Busch. And yeah, Jones gets his win. He finally snaps his long winless streak since Daytona last year. So Eric Jones gets his 2nd career win. And with this win, Eric Jones is now officially chase-bound. Honestly, he was safe on points anyway, and Jones really needed to get a win here because of his situation at Joe Gibbs next year. I honestly think this win is enough for Jones to keep his job in the 20 car. Depending on what happens with the 95 car, who takes that spot. Please, for the love of God, not Brandon Jones. Please, not Brandon Jones. And also, he wasn't the only one to lock in a spot for the chase. Because there were some drivers that locked in spots on points. Ryan Blaney locked in a spot on points. Along with Eric Almirola. And William Byron. I feel like there was one more left. Hold on. Oh yeah, Kyle Larson also locked in his spot on points too. So those 4 are also mathematically on points. Which means entering Indianapolis next week, we got 4 drivers contending for 2 more spots. Like, if we have another different winner, that leaves 1 spot open on points. So, of course, to end this video off, heading in Indianapolis, we'll go over the Cup points, and I'll show you the IndyCar points to end it off. So, let's get going. So, here are the Cup points for the 15th and 16th chase spots, the final 2 spots into the chase next week. So, here's the situation. Quinn Bowyer enters 8 points above the cutoff line. Bowyer just needs to have a solid day, finish ahead of Suarez and Newman to seal it up. Suarez and Newman are both tied for the final spot. Suarez holds the tiebreaker, so essentially, out of those 2, Whoever can finish the highest or score the most points will get the spot. Jimmy Johnson, he gained some points. He's in a more reachable gap of 18 points, but that's not going to be enough. Like, I honestly think entering Indianapolis, I think the only way Jimmy Johnson gets in is if he wins his way in. Because I don't think he's going to be able to make up 18 points in one race. Like, he's pretty much going to need Suarez, Newman, and Boyer to have bad luck and have bad finishes, and Jimmy finishes strong to get in. Like, it's going to take a Hail Mary for him to get in. But, we've seen crazier things happen. And keep in mind, folks, we haven't had a driver race their way into the chase since 2012 with Jeff Gordon. And no, 2013 does not count. Like, Gordon and Newman only got in the 2013 chase because of penalties and bullshit at Richmond. But yeah, anyway, let's move. That's the situation entering the Brickyard. So here are the IndyCar points entering Laguna Seca in 3 weeks. So we have Joseph Newgarden, the leader. Rossi, 41 points out. Pagenaud, 42 points out. Dixon's 85 points out. It's pretty simple for Scott Dixon. He needs to win and hope that Newgarden has a bad day, along with Rossi and Pagenaud. Newgarden, he just needs to finish at least ahead of those three or have a decent run. And hope none of those three win to lock up the title. Rossi just needs to win and hope Newgarden has a bad finish. Pagenaud, he just needs Newgarden to have a bad finish and a solid day or just win the race. And hope the other way around too. But yeah, those are just points entering the Laguna Seca. And Laguna Seca is going to be a wild card race and chaotic, considering that IndyCar's never raced at that track before. But yeah, that's in 3 weeks. We still got some cup chasing to do. But yeah, anyway. And also, real quick, we have something to announce. Kyle Busch is now once again your 2019 NASCAR regular season champion, as he has locked up the regular season crown. Kyle Busch, please step forth and pick up your 15 chase points that you get to carry throughout the chase. And meanwhile, all the Busch sexuals shall now be arrogant for the next week or so, as they pound their chests about how Kyle Busch is going to win the championship this year. But anyway, that's all I gotta say, folks. Hope everyone's a great day, and yeah, peace out.